Hello everyone. So today we will be presenting about the COVID-19 impact on alcoholic beverages retail sector of Canada, and this will be presented by GroupDD of Global Marketing. So first of all, let's take a look at the team members. These are the team members, and we would like to call ourselves as the Brew Crew.
As we know, COVID-19 has a significant impact on numerous industries globally. Today, we will discuss how does the pandemic affect the alcohol and beverage retail industry. COVID-19 has generated a global health concern so that most countries in the world adopted new restrictions to stop the spread of virus. Border closure, city lockdown, business closing, and unemployment are the new popular terms on the news. Besides the physical health concern, mental health is another crisis that people have to face worldwide. The contagion of COVID-19 has a significant impact on alcohol consumption, not only medical supply but also alcoholic beverage. Sanitizer product is essential for healthcare to prevent this virus transmission. Alcoholic drinks are also on high demand regarding the mental health care. Let's take a look at the chart showing the reason for drinking more wine during the pandemic in Canada. 74% of people drink more because they have extra time at home during the lockdown. 61% drink more to reduce stress. So consumer drinking habit has changed based on their new lifestyle during the lockdown. Unlike other industrial, which experienced the downturn of business because of recession, alcohol beverage consumption in hospitality decreased, but e-commercial and retail kept growing significantly. 21% increase in retail store sales and 234% increase in e-commercial based on Nelson IQ study. According to OECD research, the group of consumers with a high level of anxiety and depression symptoms experienced the highest increase in alcohol consumption. The demographics fall into women, parents of young children, middle-aged people, medium and high income, and individual. So how does this situation benefit the marketing industry?
So now let's take a look at the 4P model, which is a very important model for global marketing. It has four main elements: the product, price, promotion, and place. Now let's take a look at how we can apply this 4P model to the retail sector, specifically to the alcoholic beverage sector of Canada, to assess the COVID-19 impact on this sector based on the 4P model. So talking about the alcoholic beverages industry of Canada, LCBO, also known as Liquor Control Board of Ontario, is the sole distributor of all types of alcoholic beverages in Ontario, Canada. It has 5 main products: wines, spirits, beer, cider, coolers, and mixers. And talking about how it sources products, LCBO sources products from both local and international suppliers, and because of that, it faced 2 challenges related to sourcing due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So let's look at the first challenge. It was related to sourcing difficulties and delays because of the COVID-19 pandemic. This was because of the travel and transport restrictions, multiple lockdowns, and product quarantining regulations that led to difficulties and delays. And then looking at the second challenge of sourcing of products, product supply deficiencies to meet the increased demand during the pandemic was the second challenge. This was due to reduced store capacities, reduced store operating hours, and reduced staff during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Hello everyone. Remember in 2020 when we first went into lockdown and everyone started shopping online and hoarding toilet paper? Well, that wasn't the only thing that people started buying more of. With everyone in lockdown, online sales for retail alcohol shot through the roof, growing more than 200% than compared to 2019. Alcoholics Anonymous was having a meltdown as people started turning towards the hard liquors instead of beer, making the pricier alcohol more sought after.
As can be seen in this chart, sales spiked in March of 2020 and did so again the following March of 2021. Now, what does all this consumption have to do with prices? When the demand of an item goes up, but the supply stays the same, the prices must also increase. It's basic economics 101.
So, when the government and LCBO saw that people were consuming a lot more alcohol while they were in lockdown, they decided that they needed to raise the prices of the items, specifically wines and spirits. Beer, for the most part, stayed about the same. Now, alcohol is a little bit different from regular retailed food items, as it has a minimum price that is set by the government under the Liquor Control Act. This act was put into place to help thwart alcohol addictions, and the government hoping to put an end to that sort of problem, but that is an argument for another day. So, when the government saw that people were buying alcohol and getting drunk at home, they decided that they needed to raise the minimum price for alcohol. It was the Canadian alcohol and beer that for the most part stayed about the same. It did go up a couple of dollars, but nothing significant. It was in March of 2021 that this was put into place, and it really hit imported alcohol. So things like Irish whiskey, gin, and vodka is what really took the major hits. Some bottles even going up as much as $20 more a bottle.
Now, going back to the chart from before, you can see this did help. Sales held steadily, but did not continue to spike, meaning people were not buying as much alcohol, but those that were paid the price for it.
Today, I am going to talk about the fourth element of the 4Ps model, which includes market, tunnels, and distributions. First thing first, I'm going to dig deep into the market. The number of Canadians who increased their alcohol consumption is similar to the number of those who decreased their alcohol consumption according to the Government of Canada. Depends on different group of age. Alcoholic consumption has not been changing a lot. For example, for the group of age from 15 to 29, 33% of consumptions has reported to be decreased among the people. On the other hand, from the group of age from 30 to 64, 18% consumption of alcohol has been reported to increase among the folks. So, to conclude this point, I am going to say that alcoholic market has not been hit a very different change during the COVID recessions. Next thing, I'm gonna go deeper into the tunnels. LCBO, bar, clubs, and the restaurants are the three main pillars of the industry. Unlike LCBO is doing very well on providing and supplying alcohol to people, bars and clubs and restaurants are kinda struggling over this very hard time at this very moment. After the reopen of the COVID, the prices of the alcohol consumption, the prices of the alcohol selling in the bars and the clubs or the restaurant has been increased a little bit as compared to LCBO. So that's the reason why not a lot of people would choose bars or clubs or restaurants to have their drinks if they are going to. The third thing, I'm gonna go for the contribution of the alcohol industry. With the enormous number of almost 300 LCBO stores and 1,000 of bar clubs and restaurants during along Ontario, the alcohol industry has been contributed approximately $2 billion in monthly sale to the total national sales market national sale market of Canada, which is a very good news because we can see that similarly alcohol industry has not been done very horribly result and outcome during the COVID recession. So this could be a very good news for the alcoholic industry to be solved and move on in the future.
Hello everyone, thanks for the presentation of other members. Here's Skyling Pham, and I will focus on the effects of the pandemic to the promotion in alcohol retails and how the companies they can maximize the revenues during the pandemic. So as mentioned from other members' part, promotion is included in the 4 P's that follow after, product, pricing, and place. It's gonna cover like advertising, public relations, and promotional strategy. So the goal of promoting is, trying to reveal to the consumer like why they need it and why they should pay a certain price for it. It going to refers to specific and thoughtful advertising that going to reach a market, the company target market. So in 1985, Albert Bush II is now, the chairman of the board and president of the Anheuser-Busch company. He described, the way why advertising is probably so important for, to maximize the product. So the ability of the industry to market has increased in recent years, through the use of technologies such as the internet and the adoption of racial ethic and other holiday celebrations. However, due to the current problems of the global pandemic, the alcohol promotion has been driven by many other environmental effects. So today there would be 2 main noticeable effects that everyone related to the industry can probably realize. So the first can be included is policy interventions from the governments to minimize the alcohol consumption. For the alcohol beverage market, the promoting alcohol normally going to be limited by the government based on the risk of overconsuming among the consumers. One of the most noticed problems that can be mentioned here that there has been an increase in domestic violence during the COVID-19. So many people can question why it is the problem, and I think I can explain you why. Harmful alcohol consumption is gonna damage the health, causes disease and injuries, or maybe weaken the response to COVID-19. I think that's the reason why the government gets strict to the alcohol promotion. So based on the navigation of the World Health Organization, nearly 1 in 3 women will have experienced physical or sexual violence by their partner in their lifetime, or 1 in 3 children experience some form of violence by the parents or other family members that caused, by getting drunk. So besides, there was 60% increasing in emergency calls across European countries that about domestic violence. So from that, alcohol promotion during this time can be extremely strict based on the social problem, which is domestic violence. But here is not the only factor that lower the chance of promoting alcohol. The second impact is the limited retail market. So while the e-commerce or the retail stores saw an increasing sales, other sectors such as the hospitality sector, maybe hotels, bar, restaurant, they were hit by the crisis. So the alcohol sales in these places actually declined because of the lockdowns. Alcohol beverages were barely sales in this place, in contrast with the time before the pandemic. So these effects caused a big loss for the industry, since many public areas that promoted to sell alcohol were closed. From that, many promoting strategies such as advertising with direct customer is impossible to implement. So nobody can deny that 2 of the chances have an impact on the alcohol marketing. However, besides the limitation in public promotion, the alcohol retailers can implement some of these remedies to maximize their revenue during the pandemic. So here are our suggested remedy to the alcohol companies focus on engaging with the online customers by creating virtual experience, also with investing in the packaging designs. So the first thing, alcohol retailers can add more excitement to unveiling the brand personality based on the advance of virtual reality headset. So this will not only give to the customer the real-time experience on being their own bartender, but also creating an intimate relationship, and the sense of kinship between the brand and the users as well. One of the example can be Simi, your personal bartender. The alcohol retail can probably doing the same thing, but focus on their branding and using their own recipe with the beverage they got in the market. Simi has the cocktail recipe catalog of over 2,000 recipes featuring Diago's brands such as Johnny Walker Whiskey or the Captain Morgan. So with use, the tap bars will gain the intelligence and offer the cocktail recipe based on the alcohol and the ingredient preference. So either company that understand the potential of holding the virtual events or the campaigns, they probably will do well for the business during the pandemic. The second is going to be the packaging designs. By this day, normally they're gonna get attracted by the amazing packaging design. If any alcohol retailers they got this advance, they probably got a plus beside the drink quality and consumer satisfaction. So drinkers over above 30s can be the target market for the alcohol retailers in designing the packaging, since they can prefer this more than millennials. So during the pandemic, one of the alcohol retailers knocked out. Others might be like Great Notion Brewing, as the pictures I show you right here, to get the customer excited and improve their experience with the brand. Great Notion designed the very beautiful boxes with a customer artwork to hold the beer. Consumer feedback has been amazing, and the brand is normally targeted on the social media in unboxings, video, and pictures as well. So this is actually a really great proof that customers are connecting with the Great Notion brand, even though there are no permission in visiting the store during the lockdown. So after all, we believe that global pandemic seriously affected not only growth in the alcohol beverage industry, but also the other industry markets as well. Changes in price, in products, in places, and promotion can, probably really destroy the business of so many companies. However, it will not be the end for the companies that are willing to change no matter what the problem is. So if the companies have enough flexibility and, adaptability, probably they can maximize their revenue during the pandemic by, using the advance of internet and the customer understanding as well. So after all, thanks for spending your time. I will hope that, after the transformations of so many alcohol retailers during the pandemic, that would be a great business experience for them to understand more in the way to be, more adaptable. So thank you.